It's 7:25 here on Inside the Cave, and of course, 7:25 on a Tuesday means Tom Crawford from the Crawford Podcasting Network. And Tom, we had a bye week this week, trying to get all the players healed up from their nicks and bruises and all that sort of thing, and going to take on a Wisconsin team that coming in may be a little suspect.
Yeah, it's suspect, but it's still a Big Ten game. Wisconsin is, I'm not saying I'm thinking Michigan's going to lose, but I just got a gut feeling this is going to be a little uneasy for at least a while because of this. They have Wisconsin's got. This is going back to the Barry Alvarez days of having big linemen. They have as many as 10 guys on defensive line that are like 300 pounds. So I think Michigan might struggle a little bit to run the football, and then Bryce Hunter will go over top, and then things will get a little bit more relaxing. But I just think it might be a little unsettling for a bit. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's a nice, relaxing blowout. We sit back and enjoy the buffet up in the press box.
Well, Wisconsin coming in, not sure who their quarterback is going to be. Their first string and second string quarterbacks have been injured. Billy Edwards and Danny O'Neill. That leaves it up to third string quarterback Hunter Simmons. So a little disconnect there as far as quarterback is concerned. Yeah,
Billy Edwards, obviously transfer from Maryland. That's the kid that could keep them in the game. He's very talented. We know, he can throw the ball very well, and the other two quarterbacks have their weaknesses. A little bit of strength here. One's a passer and one's a runner. And they have a decent wide receiver in Vinny Anthony. It's pretty doggone good. I kind of wish Michigan had him, but. I couldn't believe that loss they had to Maryland in a game that Billy Edwards probably wish he played in. That was his old team. But they looked like they didn't want to be there. And I've never seen Camp Randall. I was glancing at that game. This was a couple of weeks ago because they had the same bye week that Michigan did. And, man, that emptied out. There was no fifth quarter with a band and all that, roll off the barrel kind of stuff. That was a strange sight. But that buyout is pretty glaring. $25 million if they want to whack Luke Fickell. And I hope they have an illustrious alumni with deep pockets if they want to do that.
Well, Tom, luckily Pat's back. He hit the right button and played the right song for you first there since... You missed it, Pat. Somehow the Spartan button got pushed the last time.
Yeah, why did that happen?
I know why it happened.
Yeah, no, I'm just messing with you. But, again, talking about that bye week, though, and getting some guys, making sure everybody is healthy. And it's a good time for it right now, too, just to, they don't have a ton of injuries, but it's always nice to take that week off and just kind of get everything that's maybe a nick or a ding taken care of and get that week's rest.
Yeah, and it's always, more enjoyable in the building, I would think, from a morale standpoint, coming off a win versus coming off a loss. Michigan State and Wisconsin both had to deal with their bye weeks coming off a loss, and sometimes you can reboot yourself and things like that and, start fresh. But, Michigan has had some injuries. Their offensive line, Brady Norton, I think might be coming back to get in the mix. Although this redshirt freshman, Gennaro, 53, doing a heck of a job and getting a lot of accolades. And we'll probably move into Greg Crippen's center spot next year, I'm thinking. But that offensive line, guys, with Giovanni Alhadi perhaps coming back for the USC game, that could eventually be a position of strength, believe it or not, because of some injuries. And then let's go back that week after the Oklahoma game when Sharon Moore could coach that week, even though he couldn't coach the game. And he walked over to his old offensive line position group and spent a lot of time helping out Grant that. And man, what a difference it's made since that time. So whatever it takes, just get it done, and Michigan can have a multi-dimensional offense.
Well, do you think we're going to see a Michigan quarterback maybe do a few more things this week than he did the last game against a great opponent?
Well, I think you're going to see Bryce throw the ball for the reasons I cited early on, because of I don't think Michigan. If Michigan runs the ball early on, I mean, this could get ugly for Wisconsin, because Michigan could go play action and providing the receivers catch the football. That's another thing I hope was worked upon during the bye week, and that was referenced twice during the Monday press conference about Michigan receivers need to go back to fundamentals, how to catch the ball with their fingertips and focus before running. And Channing Goodwin dropped a couple at Wisconsin, and Donovan McCulley is the best receiver. And he had a great grab that was ruled out of bounds. I mean, I still think that was legitimate, but they got to get this receiving core getting up to average output of a Big Ten team or a college football team, because they're going to need it, and that might include Andrew Marsh, true freshman, number 4, who I remember seeing a couple times this year as a great downfield blocker. Boy, you can't beat that. So he might be coming into the mix. And then Samaj Morgan, we've been waiting around for a couple of years for his emergence, and he did have a touchdown pass. I think it was against Central Michigan, and he needs to step up.
Well, when they talk about the guys are when the ball is coming to them, they're already looking ahead to where they're going to run after they catch it, and then of course they just drop it, and that's a big problem.
Yeah, and I think Bryce Underwood continues to improve, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but I would think the transfer portal would have some attention and some people filing in there looking at Michigan if they want to transfer to a school where they have a really good quarterback with a great arm to throw the ball to enhance their NFL aspirations. I think that'll happen next year. You can't do anything about that this year, but so that's the position group I'm concerned with that hopefully was worked on in the bye week. And then obviously the other, not weakness, but concern is the secondary, particularly at the corners, because they have so much youth in there that you're concerned about. And Jaden Sanders, our number 27 guys, I mean, man, this guy could be the next great defensive back for the Wolverines. I mean, he didn't come in at he was not a mid-enrollee. He came in the summer, and man, that kid is good. He is really good and getting better. Still makes some mistakes here and there, but I like that. But having Rod Moore back there at free safety to kind of be the orchestra leader with all that experience and leadership and talent himself, I think he's going to play a lot more than he did against Nebraska, and that will be a huge asset to Michigan secondary.
When you talk about Bryce and throwing the ball, and I do think that the reins are being pulled back more and more as the season goes along, and it's going to be interesting to see how he progresses and the more things that they can put into this offense to really showcase what Bryce Underwood can do.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing him in design runs. We've seen him improvising runs. We've seen him throw the ball. We've seen him throw the ball rolling out. What I'd like to see is how he does this in a standard drop back, staying in the pocket, hoping the pocket stays quiet, and see what he can do there when he can look down the field and really survey situations, as opposed to playing half a field where you're dealing with a rollout, bootleg, whatever. So that's what I want to see. But I want to win. I want to win because this is one of those games you always got to watch out for, because you got USC looming ahead, and in Los Angeles next Saturday night, and you don't want this to sneak up on you. Then you got Washington right behind that. So the schedule does, has some potholes in it and some challenges, and they got to be ready each week.
Well, USC showed a little bit more, I think, of their true identity last weekend till we weren't. I think the jury was still out on them, but I believe that looking at how they played last week shows that maybe they're not the elite team that people were thinking they might have been.
Well, and this goes flip flop from the other game. Michigan State had to go out there and play at 11 o'clock at night Eastern time. They had to come to Champaign and play at 9 o'clock Pacific time, and all that back and forth. And I know that's part of it, but they caught Illinois at a bad time, guys. They just got humiliated in Bloomington. So that did not surprise me, and they could have won that game. But yeah, their defense, USC's defense is still USC's defense from what under Lincoln Riley, and he's under a lot of pressure. So to win out there, I mean, demands are higher at USC than they are at Wisconsin. Wisconsin's got fairly high demands. But, so you have two teams, or you have two coaches that are, making sure they keep their job. And I think with Luke, it's desperation.
Tom, Michigan got a little bad news over the weekend. They lost their four-star recruit, Dorian Barney, defensive back, to Ole Miss. And, boy, they're trying to beef up that secondary, but when you lose a four-star like this, that really hurts.
Well, yeah, but this is why I don't get twisted up in recruiting, because until they sign, well, actually, until they show up, I don't even register who they are. I've been, over the years of following recruiting back in the 80s and 90s when recruiting started to become a big deal. I mean, there was hardly any recruit in the 70s. You never knew who you had till they came on the field. I mean, but it's different now with the internet. But I mean, I'm not concerned about that, because Michigan, if they do continue to do well, they can get a late signee from the freshman class, and then there's the portal, the go-to, the safety valve. So I'm not worried about that at all. And you're going to see that going back and forth. You'll see Michigan steal somebody from somebody else of high prominence. And Ole Miss is a good program. Lane Kiffin had a big win this past weekend over LSU, so it did not surprise me. Tom,
another showcase game last weekend pitted Oregon against Penn State. James Franklin again did not win the big game.
Yeah, it was before in 21, those situations. He's the few times I've got to chat, at Big Ten Media Days, is the only time over the years. I mean, I think he's a really good guy. And I don't know what happens to them. I mean, players play the game. And, I mean, Penn State made a nice comeback. That first half, though, offensively was abysmal. I mean, would they get 69 total yards offensively in the first half? And that was an opportunity. I mean, they had the whiteout. They're at home. They're due to win a big game against a top 10 team. And they still have the schedule ahead of them with Indiana, Ohio State, I think, both on the slate to get back in it. But, yeah, that was disappointing. And for them, I really didn't care who won. But I am getting a little fatigued, guys, by the Oregon thing coming in here and taking over our conference. And but Indiana goes out to Eugene to play them. I think that's on October 11th. Man, that's going to be another Saturday.
Really?
Yeah, Oregon, Indiana at 3:30, and then Michigan, USC at 7:30. That's going to be fun.
Speaking of Indiana, though, they're the first team I've seen that did not turn around and do the wave at Iowa up to the
I did not
Children's
know that.
Hospital. I saw that the other day. Yeah, everybody stopped and waved, and they were still in the middle of the field in their huddle and did not turn around and respect the tradition now that's going on in Iowa. So
wow, that's surprising because everybody else has.
Yep.
But Curtis Ignati's a weird duck. Let's be real. He's annoying. He was annoying when he was talking about Big Ten Media Days.
Hey, come on, look at his resume. It's all you got to say. Look at my resume.
Google me.
That's right.
I think I think that party's going to end as far as winning. I mean, I don't think they're going to beat Oregon, and I think that could be similar to when they played Ohio State last year. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to get boat race, but I see a 17-point plus win for the Ducks out at Autzen Stadium.
All right, Tom, let's talk about Michigan, Wisconsin. What's the score going to be?
Oh, good Lord. I don't know, something like, I'm saying like maybe in the neighborhood of 31-13, something like that. And it might be like a 24-13 late in the fourth quarter. I'm not saying it's going to be an all-out fourth quarter game, but just get this win, baby, and get ready for the Trojans. And I'm looking forward to later today. I'm heading down to Ann Arbor, Pat, for basketball media days for Dusty May and the Wolverines. Get to meet that exciting team. So, hey, it's a golden era of Michigan football and basketball. How am I overstating that?
Well, I just see that they just announced another exhibition game against Cincinnati.
Yeah, I mean, and they got a great non-conference slate. They got 4 returning players, 4 incoming freshmen, and 4 or 5 transfers. So when Meet the Wolverines on Media Day is exciting under Dusty May because they got a lot of new faces. I mean, this is just college basketball. And his ability to merge these guys together, them to play together, man, he's going to have a heck of a run in Ann Arbor.
Well, say hi to Dusty for us while you're down there.
I'll do that. Look forward to that, and look forward to seeing you, Pat, on Saturday. Noon kickoff, Michigan versus Wisconsin.
Yeah, can't wait for it. Tom, let's let folks know how they can get a hold of your podcast.
Yeah, Tom's Take Community, all one word. Go out and like us on YouTube channel. Appreciate that. Subscribe, rather, or like us on Facebook. Also, at Bluebelly Tom, all one word, on our TikTok channel. A lot of Michigan content and a lot of good, fun stuff to talk about.
All right, Tom, we'll see you in the box on Saturday.
All right, guys, have a terrific Tuesday.
All right, Tom Crawford, our guest here on Inside the Cave.